What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Winter Season Showdowns. You're currently watching a best of 5 between Sen and Moonglade. I'm axeltoss, joined by axslav. Before we jump into Game 3, quick shout out, of course, Full Sail University is MLG's official education partner. So if you're looking on getting into graphic design, game design, audio engineering, video production, fullsail.edu/MLG. Check out that website. They'll have you fill in some information, and they'll send some information right back at you. And then you can find out if Full Sail University is the proper place for you. So definitely check out that website, fullsail.edu/MLG, to find out more. That being said, Game 3 between Sen and Moonglade should be beginning shortly.
Let's just go right into it.
Yes.
Tied up 1-1. Whoever launches the attacks, they've been parried. These guys are so good, you cannot catch them off guard.
That's the thing with Zerg, though, almost, too. But go ahead.
It is. I mean, Zerg, in ZVZ, if someone goes for an early attack, like we saw in the first 2 games, and the other player gets wind of it soon enough, and they're prepared for it, they weren't taking any, they weren't playing too risky. You know, they didn't skip a baiting nest or anything like that. They're going to be a little bit ahead, assuming they can execute their defense just right. So, maybe we'll see both players say, okay,
really respect each other.
Yeah, exactly. They're feeling each other out.
Yeah.
And they've discovered that there's no early game weaknesses on either side yet.
Yep.
All right. So I expect to see both players play just a more droning to lair, light speeding baiting pokes, but nobody's going to commit to an attack like Moonglade did in the first game and Sen did in the second.
Of course, Sen going for that Roach Baneling attack that didn't work out so well. He is your Red Zerg player in the top right-hand location. Won Game 1, but fell in Game 2. His opponent in the bottom left-hand location from Australia. I know probably a lot of Australians are watching this, so shout out to you guys. Also, shout out to the Taiwanese fellows as well. Did I say that right?
Taiwanese.
Taiwanese fellows as well. Shout out to you guys. Of course, rooting for their countrymen, no doubt. Of course, the Blue Zerg player in the bottom left is Moonglade. Very classy fellow. I've had the pleasure to be able to meet him. Sen is a very classy individual as well. Of course, we saw their very friendly conversation in game number 1, talking about Valentine's Day and throwing back and forth. Plenty of smiley faces and hearts, which you should always do when you play StarCraft 2.
You got to be full of smiles and hearts.
You got to.
Yes.
Makes things better.
Looks like both players are going to go the same build they did last game. Hatchery before gas is... I think it's overall, you lose some aggressive options, right, by delaying the gas just a little bit. But it's just more economically focused, and I think they both figured out by now that neither one of them is going to be caught off guard by any early shenanigans. As soon as, you can always tell, too, you don't need to get into base to know the gas timing. All you have to do is see the natural, which the Overlord does, and you know the gas timing. Just because you can tell, because it affects the expansion timing. So they both know exactly what's going on right now. I think we're going to see mutas from both sides, just because Heart of the Swarm mutas are so strong. We could see, even though Sen had the Infestors, with Moonglade's micro, and the way he approached engagement coming from multiple angles with a very good spread, it was very hard for the Infestors to really lock all those mutas down.
Yeah, if you can split your mutas properly, it's very hard to deal with them. But I think what I would do here is probably cancel my hatchery and then just go all in with drones.
Yeah.
But then, once the Overlord saw my drones, I would back up and then take my natural again. That'd be good?
Games.
Yeah, would that be good?
Mind games. Yeah, he would never suspect you'd pull your drones halfway across the map
right.
and then send them back home.
Exactly. You see? I only come up with the best strategies. Is the Overlord going to fall? I think
it will. It will fall. A little bit of a mistake by Sen. They're getting a tiny bit too close, of course. Moonglade might miss like 1 second off his inject, but that's totally worth it. In fact, yeah, it won't be any more than 1 second off timing on the inject. So definitely worth it to get that Overlord kill. Both players' speed is going along the same way. Both players keeping the 3 drones on gas. I expect to see, baiting nests and lairs coming out of both these guys fairly soon. There's Sen's baiting nest, and Sen's got to be on the back foot a little bit. Losing that Overlord substantially hurts you in a mirror match where you're both doing the same thing.
Yep.
But now your opponent has basically 100 extra minerals to work with because they don't have to replace that Overlord, not to mention the potential supply blocks you run into. So,
and of course, the earlier that happens, the worse it is because those Overlords are so much more valuable early on in the game when you're trying to optimize your spending and only get the necessary units on the field. So, yeah, I agree. Sen is going to have to catch up a little bit, but it's not a game-ending deal. It's just we'll have to win some skirmishes a little bit later on. Maybe maybe get some momentum in his favor, at least fake that he has momentum.
And he's actually got the faster lair going down right now. Moonglade with a slight food advantage, but Sen with the faster lair, and that could mean faster Mutas. In fact, Moonglade is getting an Evo Chamber.
What?
Which means he's almost
it a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, he's almost surely not going to go for those Mutalists. Evo Chamber usually means roaches. There are some weird Carapace upgrade builds where you use speedlings and then with +1 Carapace, assuming your opponent doesn't upgrade to melee attack, Banein's no longer one hit Zergin. So, double Evo Chamber. There's the Carapace. Moonglade. He's being cheeky here.
Let's see if Sen can scout this.
He scouts one Evo Chamber halfway done. And that's gotta... But you know, seeing it halfway done at that timing, that almost looks like he got lair first.
Yeah, like the lair's already up.
Yeah, because he didn't realize that's a second Evo Chamber. It's not the first. And Overlord speed coming out from Moonglade as well, so he's going to be able to scout that spy route. I mean, I assume that's the reason why he's getting it. And Zergin upgrades. This is
and a third.
Yes.
Okay, so he's going to be very defensive then.
He is. Well, you know, it's interesting. He's going to be both. He's going to be defensive against Mutas, but when you play this style, one of the big goals is to deny your opponent's third with speedlings. So even though Sen has the Mutalist, Moonglade still is going to try to put on pressure on the third and prevent Sen from joining up his third, while he defends at home with Spores and Spawns. Of course, he is getting his own lair attack a little bit later. Once they continue those upgrades, often this play goes into Infestors and then straight to Hive. We'll have to see the direction Moonglade wants to take it, though.
It almost forces your opponent to make a decision. Where's the spot? Oh, yeah. It also forces your opponent to make a decision as far as, all right, am I really aggressive with my links? Nice. Forcing the cancel there. Or do I keep some Mutas back to deal with these counterattacks onto my third?
The Overlord didn't see the Spire. It went over the natural. Let's check out Moonglade's vision, see if he noticed the Spire. He did. Nice. So he knows exactly what's going on. I think he could have suspected it from everything he's seen anyway. The timings on the third from Sen and the lack of roaches. So Moonglade's getting those spore cores up. His upgrades on the Zergins are nearing completion. Once those finish, he'll be much more efficient in these Zergin mirror battles. And like you mentioned before, Sen will have to decide. Spend a lot of gas on Banein's and try to defend with Banein's, or keep the Mutas at home. But if you keep the Mutas at home,
why make him in the first place?
Exactly, because as the game goes on, once there's Hydras and Infestors out, they start to lose some of their effectiveness.
Oh my gosh, Moonglade is just gonna focus on denying this third, sending Banelings into these hatchery, into the spine crawlers. One Baneling gonna connect, but again, it requires two now that Moonglade has that +1 Carapace. And he's going to force a cancel again.
Oh, and that was a very advanced hatchery. Moonglade playing that extremely well. Well worth the Zergin sacrifice. And look at this. 3 Spore Cores going down by his third. More Zergins being built.
I think that was in time. Sen is making that decision to retreat.
Yeah, I mean, well, he has to or he'll lose the third again.
Yeah.
The upgrades from Moonglade Zergins, I mean, they slaughter Sen Zergins. Even a drone was sent out there. Maybe he was going to build a Spore on the creep that Sen's landing, and then he could use it to help attack the third. And he's just got all the tempo going, which is really neutralizing the initiative of the Mutalists.
This third is probably going to get canceled again, to be completely honest, and it will. There's the cancel again, but Sen is ahead in supply, 88 to 65. But again, most of that supply is represented in these Mutas, and the Mutas aren't necessarily doing anything across the map. This is given time to Moonglade to get those spores up at his third base, get a spore up at his natural expansion, 2 spores up there. Fungal growth is almost done. He has 4 infestors in production. Sen, he pretty much has to deny this third base right now.
He's got the speedings to knock out the spores, and Moonglade has no answer for them right now.
Where are his speedlings?
He was pumping drones instead of speedlings behind attack, so his drones are going to try to fight it off. He's going to take some losses. He's got a couple speedlings. I think he should be okay. He's been the faster rally and everything else, but I don't know. Sen keeps sending in more and more units.
Moonglade doesn't have a ridiculous amount of larva. Inject just now popping. 16 more lings
and
going to be on the way.
And the mutas are killing everything as it rallies across.
Infestor pops, and it's going to die immediately. Did Moonglade, was he too comfortable in his defense here? Now he's not even messing around, making 40 lings in that production tab. Wants to get rid of Sen. Get out of my side of the map.
A fungal going down on a Muse. If he can chain. Oh, he's not going to chain more. He's got to retreat back to his natural.
Get fungal again. Oh, the fungal missing. Only hitting 2 Mutas. Needs 1 more fungal. That would be beautiful at this point in time. But no, the Infestor's going to get taken out. And all of a sudden, just like that Sen showing the power of mass Muta.
And look at this. The Spore Cores are so weakened by the Zergin attack. The Mutas will fly in here and take them out without a problem. Moonglade's now stuck, but he's countering at Sen's third base. trying to get some damage done, trying to even up the situation again by sending them both back to 2 bases. But Sen didn't even finish off the hatchery. He's got to head home.
He does. He doesn't want to have to lose his third, but he's going to lose it.
One transfusion goes down, but that's not going to be enough. Those Zerglings take it out, and the Zerglings survive as well, which means they can come back later, get another cancel. Moonglade, 5 more Infestors being produced. The Hydralisk then just finishing. More Spore Cards going down, and this time he's got plenty of speeding to defend at third base from Sen's ground forces as well.
Yeah, and the 5 Infestors are about to pop. Going to continue to send Lings across the field to counterattack at Sen's third base. Sen desperately going to try to hold, has 3 more Banelings in production at the same time. We have Mutas coming down to the bottom side of the map towards the third base of Moonglade. Fungal should be inevitable here, not going down just yet. Uh-oh, Sen has to be careful. He's bunching up his Mutas.
It's such a dangerous game there, of course, with their 4 movement speed and the fungal projectile. The Mutas are easily able to deal with fungal growth easier, but he still doesn't want to risk going in there. His own third is halfway up, but I feel he's got to do some damage because, I mean, yeah, he's ahead in supply, but we're not talking about the upgrades and how much more effective Moonglade's supply is because it's heavily upgraded. Sen is working on his first upgrades for his ground units right now.
And mixing in the Hydras is Moonglade. Oh, great fungal onto the Mutas, and that's exactly what he needed. Sending the Hydras forward to potentially deal with this one Muta getting out alive, but no, all of these Mutas should fall. Great catch there from Moonglade, and watch the supply drop from Sen. Of course, he's remaking a bunch of stuff. As I say, that 4 Infestors in production. Losing the Mutas there, not the hugest of deals, but it still is a pretty big deal. I mean, it's not like Sen is out of the game, as a lot of people might be thinking when all of his Mutas go away. He's transitioning away from them. Roach is in production. He had Infestors in production as well. Still has a sizable economy and also saturating that third base. So while losing the Mutas was no fun, 67 to 53 in the Harvesters.
A significant advantage.
Yeah, he's going to be happy right now.
Very, very strong economy. Moonglade's got to play catch-up. I mean, Moonglade's got no drones in his third. He's got to drone that third up. But, I mean, he's down in food because the economy is so much stronger for Sen. He can afford to make those losses. Of course, Moonglade still has that upgrade advantage. 2-2 on his Hydras and Roaches. Sen is only 1-1. Just now getting Roach speed. Just now getting level 2 attack upgrade. Actually, I don't think Moonglade has Roach speed either because he actually doesn't have Roach Warren, does he?
He just started.
He does. Okay, just started. Okay, yeah. Because he hasn't even been going Roaches, of course. His
He's
opponent.
getting Hydra speed.
Yes.
I wonder if a timing exists right when Roach Warren completes, because he'll have 2-2. But then he has to decide, okay, do I want to prioritize remaking drones? He has a good drone count.
I mean, it's when you get into Roach Mirror, the rally difference is so big it can be often hard to do timings because like if you're closer to rally, even if you're the same food, you'll have like 20 more Roaches into battle. Like for example, Sen has like a 50 food advantage right now. I don't think he can go across and kill Moonglade though, because for 2 reasons. One, Moonglade has a ton of Infestors. He's got I think 8 of them out now. Or he's just now producing
7.
up to 7 with now his 8th one coming out. So I mean, trying to come up a ramp against that's a huge deal. But also, just the rally difference. I mean, most of Moonglade's extra food is in units that are still coming out basically.
Yeah. Very close game we have here. Again, we might see a lot of multi-pronged attempts from these two guys because we see Sen researching Burrow. Typically, you're going to send some Infestors burrowed across the map to try to get some economic damage done. And you'll see the best players really split off Roaches here and there while attacking different locations, especially while trying to secure a 4th, because that 4th can be very vulnerable. So we'll keep an eye on that for sure. Sen up 200 to 177 in supply. Moonglade kind of poking out a little bit with a lot of Roaches and Hydras.
I don't know if I like this poke out. I mean, he's down in supply. He's still waiting for more units to rally out. Sen has an advantage, and maybe he can't go across and kill Moonglade, but on the defensive, he's going to be in great shape, especially he set up this beautiful concave on top of that ramp.
Yeah, preemptively splitting all those units. That's exactly what you have to do. Cloud Kingdom is a map you can do that on as well. You can kind of guess where your opponent's going to be coming from. There are ramps leading to pretty much every single expansion. But now Moonglade's approaching max, so we might start feeling comfortable coming up into...
Sen's coming in the line. Moonglade's going to catch him with an amazing flank.
Moonglade with a great concave here, throwing down the Fungos. Infested Terrans going down as well. Blankets of green slime going to be laid on pretty much every single unit at this point. Who comes down on top? Will it come down to whose reinforcements can get there fast? But no, Moonglade's going to shove Sen away for now. Are any Fungals available? No, I don't think so. And now Sen is going to be on the run.
He is. He's got to retreat there. The position was beautiful for Moonglade, but he's got to be careful. His Infestors are out of energy. He's so much closer to Sen's rally that the Roaches will swarm in from Sen in overwhelming numbers.
Infested Terrans going down from both of these two players. Moonglade has a little bit more, but here come the reinforcements, as you mentioned, from Sen. We also got 13 Hydras in production from Sen as well, but now Moonglade's reinforcements are going to start joining in on the fun, but Moonglade is just going to back away, unable to deny that fourth base from Sen, and that fourth base is so important because it represents 2 additional gases here from Sen that Moonglade does not have.
Exactly, and that gas is really what's important. Moonglade actually has plenty of gas because he built his Infestors early. He's mostly trying to focus on rebuilding the Roaches.
Yes.
He's got a couple options. He could try to go heavier in Infestors with that gas and then play a slow game where he just burns, slowly whittles his opponent away with fungals. But, with Sen using Burrow to regenerate, Moonglade may feel that he doesn't want to have a super Infestor heavy army. He wants to just, he has to have a good mix of compositions.
All right, Moonglade, I don't know if he necessarily knows about those burrowed units. He doesn't have an Overseer in the area, so perhaps Sen could try to be a little bit tricky, a little bit fancy, and get some, try to trap Moonglade with burrowed units.
Oh, Sen's actually anywhere Moonglade's fourth. Moonglade going for a counterattack.
Oh, no. He might just try to base trade here.
Yeah, I think he has to.
At this point, can you really turn around? So let's try to get picture-in-picture. I'll watch Sen. Nick, you watch Moonglade because these guys are going to be trading their bases. Sen's actually going to be backing away with the majority of his army, only sending a few Roaches to the third base. Moonglade completely backing away with those drones. Meanwhile, Moonglade going to be attacking the fourth base, taking it out, going to be attacking on into the third with a bunch of Roaches of his own. Moonglade has that supply advantage. Can he hold with reinforcements? I'm not so sure he can, but Sen, he's going to be retreating back that main base, that main army. We're going to have a pretty big engagement here. Let's switch views there. Of course, the Hydra's now going to be mixed in here from Sen. He's desperately trying to hold off this push. Moonglade, though, he has so many units throwing down the infested Terrans, but he's out of energy for those fungals, which could be exactly what Sen needed.
Sen had a much better concave in a situation, but Moonglade felt obliged to charge in there because his natural is being torn apart by these Roaches.
Oh, no, yeah, the Roaches, there's no defense here for Moonglade. He has no answer. In fact, he's making 10 spines in his main base. He's going to retreat his main army, but this layer is definitely going to fall.
The layer is going to fall. Does he have an Infestation Chamber still up? He's got...
No,
oh, he's rebuilding it. He's got to use that because that's where all his money is in that gas.
The Roaches is sprinting their way past the spines.
If he loses the Infestation Chamber, he won't be able to rebuild it.
I don't think he sees it. I don't think Sen sees it yet. He's targeting the Roach one.
Sen's got to target the Infestation Pit because Moonglade's got 2,300 gas bank. If he can turn that into Infestors, he can totally win this game by being very cost efficient.
No, he's not going to be able to do it anymore. And the Infestation Pit will complete, and as soon as it completes, Moonglade is probably going to get as many Infestors out as possible. However, his mineral income isn't phenomenal by any means. He only has 260 minerals. Income tab should be interesting. Okay, 45 to 41, so relatively even on the drones.
He's spending a lot of his minerals on rebuilding a hatchery, but Sen's already got a hatchery almost done, which means Sen's income is going to start kicking in now. And once Sen turns that income into units, he can try to hit a timing to kill Moonglade's only mining base at his third before Moonglade gets a chance to spend some of that gas and build up that Infestor count.
Very intense game we have on our hands, guys. We're tied 1-1 in the Winter Season Showdowns best of 5 between Sen and Moonglade, where the winner advances on to the Winter Championship in Dallas, Texas on March 15th. Talk about this game. Get on Team Liquid. Get on Reddit. Let's get people in here to watch these two amazing players trying to represent their countries in the best possible way.
I was wondering, why doesn't Moonglade spreading creep to land all those spines? Because he's got to defend his base, and I realized he has no lair.
Yeah.
If without the spines, Sen's superior numbers may be enough to turn the game around. Actually, the 3 mute is finally being useful again, taking some pot shots at those overlords there. Sen's going to move in, though, for the attack.
Sen's going to go for it. Fungals going down onto the Hydras. Here come the Fungals from Sen, though, blanketing again on top of those Roaches. Moonglade desperately trying to hold this off. Wants those spines on the ground too, but again, they're not doing much whatsoever because there's no creep there. Moonglade trying to delay this as long as possible so we can get those spines on the ground. Finally able to burrow those into the ground, but they take some time to do that. Spine crawlers or Infestors being thrown out there by Sen, saying, "No way, Jose, I'm taking you out right here, right now." But Moonglade throwing down some Infested Terrans of his own, and I think Moonglade might live to tell another tale.
It looks like he will. The Spine Crawlers being able to burrow and defend his attack. And Moonglade's got a substantial Infestor count, all out of energy, but he's got a large gas bank. He just got to turn that gas bank into Infestors.
Sen has 15 Infestors, by the way.
Oh, wow. Both players really cranking out Infestors here. Sen with the advantage right now. Moonglade trying to equalize by producing more.
7 more.
This is just such a close game. Sen's got a supply advantage, but when it's Infestor versus Infestor, it's all going to come down to control.
Those spines are really important too.
They are. I mean, without the spawns, Moonglade would be losing this game. As it is, he's significantly behind, being down 2 bases to 1. And while the drone counts are relatively even, Moonglade can't really utilize his drones to the same extent because he can only mine off a single base.
I mean, he needs a layer too. I mean, okay, he does have his layer. His layer was remade. Okay,
yeah.
good. So he could potentially try to secure this 4th base by moving the overlords and again dropping the creep so he can burrow the spine crawlers. Because he has a lot of spines, but he needs to be able to use them properly. Gosh, it might be a defense thing. Like he has
he's got
the
a slow
fungals,
play.
he's got the infestors.
You know what he should do? Because he can't go up this end in a straight-out fight because all he has is Infestors. So he's got to slow play it, maybe slowly try to take a 4th with Spinecrawler support, and maybe use some burrowed Infestors to harass his opponent to try to contain him. But Sen's not going to wait for that.
Sen coming forward again. There are Spinecrawlers here from Moonglade. Lots of Infested Terrans being thrown down here from Sen. Infested Terrans from Moonglade as well, desperately trying to hold this off. Is he even fungal? Yes, there go the fungals onto the Infested Terran. Sen desperately trying to break Moonglade, trying to go up 2-1 in this best of 5. But it looks like Moonglade might just barely hold off. No, there's so many units here from Sen still alive. Infested Terrans, Roaches, and Hydras pushing themselves forward. And he still has a lot of energy on these Infestors. Can Moonglade stay alive much longer?
Oh, the Roaches flanked around the top, picking off Infestor after Infestor. Moonglade's retreating his army, which means his hatchery is forfeit. Has to type in GG. And what a game by these two monsters from the Southeast Asian division.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, great game from those two guys. I would try to put that game together in a sense, but it wouldn't give it justice, of course. Just fantastic play from both, but ultimately Sen with the better late-game decision-making, I think. You know, deciding to only send a few Roaches to go with the aggression and backing up the majority of his army to keep his natural expansion alive, to keep his main alive. And then, of course, able to take out the layer from his opponent, able to get that ridiculous Infestor lead and just keep up the aggression, able to convert himself to victory in Game 3.
Massively just insane game.
Yeah,
I mean,
that was awesome.
You mentioned it, the beautiful play by Sen there, and then of course Moonglade had to charge into the concave.
Yeah.
And Sen just set up the concave so well to defend his natural. Absolutely shut down Moonglade's kind of base race down, and from there he had the advantage and knew how to play it out.
Yeah, speaking of advantages, Sen is going to be up 2-1 in this best of 5, which means he's 1 win away from advancing to the Winter Championship event in Dallas, Texas. Can he make it happen, or will Moonglade make a comeback? He has to win 2 in a row. We'll find out in Game 4 coming up.